Hey guys, we have our next instance here of the Scratch Golf Show. We have a really cool guest for us today. Michigan guy, somebody I've been watching for a while and have been a huge fan of, kind of paving the way for people like me. We have Johnny Boy, Johnny Darts, whatever you want to call him, a third, a half, whatever, of J&A Golf, newest Good member. Johnny, welcome to the Scratch Golf Show, man. Thanks for jumping on.
Hello. Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here. It's gonna be fun. I haven't been on many podcasts like we were kind of talking about. My
Yeah.
second podcast here, and I'm ready to talk. It'll be fun.
Yeah, bro. We're excited to have you. I know. I would say your first Michigan podcast. Let's we got to get like the title out. We got to make it.
First
Make it for the
Michigan
content.
podcast.
So yeah, man. So first and foremost, how's it been going the last couple of weeks? I mean, obviously the big announcement. I think it was probably 2 weeks ago now of you joining Good, which we're going to get into. But what's life been like the past couple of weeks for you as you've kind of made a big change in the content game?
I mean, not too much has changed in the aspect of our workflow. We're still
Yeah.
grinding more than ever on J&A. We want to just double down on J&A content. So
Yeah.
we have our good tips we're going to go on, and we're going to be wearing good, but ultimately the focus is still grind out
J&A.
J&A. So we've been grinding, having our meetings, filming our own content on top of going on the good trip in Texas 2 weeks ago, and we're going on another one tomorrow in Branson, Missouri. So that'll be fun. It's fun to kind of work with both groups here. And
Yeah.
also what's changed is just a lot more people reaching out now saying like congrats with good
Yeah.
and people in the hometown or people that are in the DMs. And it's fun to kind of work hard for the last 2 years and get some reward. I mean, we've been gradually getting a reward in the funds in the grinding in the process of getting better and better, but this is just a milestone, so it's cool.
Yeah, man. Speaking of milestones, like I said, you'll be my second good member. We're going to be dropping this a week from yesterday, so next Monday. But
Okay.
like I said, man, you guys paved the way for guys like me, just a few kids who love making content, enjoy the grind, similar to me. I'm not a kid anymore. I wish I was. But, I love it, man. Like you said, I've truly embraced the grind. I love what you guys do, and at least more Ashton on the vlogging side, where he's kind of showing that side of it and really just showing the work it takes to, put the work in to really have success. And it's possible, right? I mean, this world that is in the YouTube world is one that you have to learn, but if you put the grind in and constantly get better, you'll see the rewards. And like I said, you guys are a shining example of that, which I think you're celebrating, 2 years here in J&A here in a couple weeks? No?
We just passed 2 years.
Just
It was
past 2 years?
September 1st or something.
Okay. Nice. 100K subscribers. Hopefully in a year. I'm willing to bet by this time next year you guys will be at 500K. Is that your next milestone? 500K, or is it a million?
We say in the video is 250K.
250K.
Yeah, I don't know when we'll hit that. We've had a good run over the summer, a lot of views,
Yeah.
and I know we're gonna have peaks and valleys in our views, so we'll see.
Yeah.
We plan to make some cool content and capture some new audiences. So I don't know, maybe 500K is in the works, but I'd say goal's 250 right now. Don't know
For
when
sure.
we'll hit it, but that's
Well, I'm on the road to 1,000. So do us a
Let's
favor,
go.
subscribe to J&A Golf first off, and then subscribe to the Scratch Golf Show below. Help the boys out, reach our goals here. 1,000, 250K. We're all grinding for something. Anyway, man, let's get into it. Let's start with the most recent announcement. Take me behind the scenes of the good announcement, how long that was in the works, how that started, and just really any details you can provide or are allowed to provide. We'll start there, and then we'll just see where that takes us.
Yeah, so you want to know like how it started, like how it all
Yeah,
began?
behind the scenes, man. Like I know, obviously, they didn't just reach out that Thursday and say, "Hey, you want to join Good?" I mean, I'm sure there was conversations, a process. Like, what was that like? And like I said, how long are you guys sitting on that actual announcement for?
It's a good question, yeah. You're right. They didn't just DM us and be like, "Hey, do you want to join?" It's actually a funny story, and it can be motivating, I guess, for other people too. So we were going, we went to the Midwest Open.
Midwest Open, yeah,
Midwest
French
Open,
Lick.
right? And
Yep.
2 days before, we were on the practice green, kind of putting, and we saw some guy there. We didn't know who he was, and we walked up to him, and we hit it off for like 10 minutes, and he's like, "Oh, I'm Good's executive producer."
Oh yeah, dude. Love where this is going.
And yeah, and then we kept running into him the whole time we were
Yeah.
there and hitting it off and having a good time. And we're like, yeah, we just became free agents. Our Ghost Golf contract is up. We're wearing Bad
Yeah.
Birdie, their number one competitor. And we're like, yeah, we're free agents. And
Yeah.
at the end of the trip, he's like, here, don't sign with anyone. Let's have a call in when you guys get home.
Wow.
And yeah, on that trip, we talked to all the guys and like Kendrick, the CEO, and
Yeah.
I think they all liked us. And I now know now that they were looking into us before meeting Jeff.
That's
That's their
awesome,
plan. It wasn't
dude.
just we met Jeff and Jeff told them we need these guys on board. They had been
Yeah.
scouting us because Kendrick, the CEO, was the one that DM'd us to come to the Midwest Open. So he
Yeah.
knew. Garrett said he knew. We thought it was just the fact that we met Jeff though.
That's
And
cool though from your perspective.
yeah, because I mean, I hear a lot of stories of entrepreneurs or people following their dreams. They meet one person and it changes their whole life. And
Yeah.
it's like that's the power of networking or meeting people. You got to just get out there and meet someone because you never know who they'll connect you to or what kind of good word
Yeah.
they'll put in for you.
Yeah.
Like he probably went
Right.
back to the meeting. They have Monday meetings, and he was like, "Oh yeah, like these guys are sick." Everyone's like, "Yeah, these guys are sick." I'm assuming that's what he said. We just hit it off with him. We have a good relationship with Jeff,
Right.
and yeah, so we left that trip, got a call, and then like after a few weeks of talking, they're like, "All right, look, we just want you guys to come on the team," and we're like,
Yeah.
"What?" And we did some more negotiating, and then we flew down to Texas to kind of finalize the deal, and then that's that video we made on our channel, and we finalized it.
Yeah, dude. That's awesome, man. What a story. I love that video that you guys posted on your YouTube. I had Sean on, and I'm gonna drop the video with Sean later this week, and this one after next week. But you'll see in that video. I told Sean, I'll tell you this now that you're here. Like when you guys posted the Try Not to Cry challenge, I was like, dude, that's like me doing the Try Not to Cry challenge right now. It's so cool seeing you guys, even though you're like 10, 11 years old. Like that type of stuff was you're tugging at the heartstrings there. So that was really cool, man. That's awesome. Cool story. I mean, you guys are so successful at such a young age. It's so cool to see how mature. Like I said, I just told you, like I wasn't doing things at 20. I'm barely doing things at 30 that you guys are at 20, and just the mindset you guys have and the just the
Thank you.
constant grind is super cool to see, man. So congrats on all the success, obviously with Good and the Midwest Open. Obviously, like you said, relationships are super important, right? I mean, I wouldn't be here if I didn't have a relationship with the four fellows who Ty put me in touch with you, and now here we are, right? You never know who you're going to meet, and I
Right.
love that. I love that. So cool, man. Well, that's awesome. Are you so? When you say the good, like you guys flew down to Texas, are you talking about the first time or the second time you guys flew down to Texas? Do you finalize everything?
First time. First time
First
we
time.
went down, we were in talks with them where we filmed that vlog of
Yeah.
signing with
Okay.
them.
Okay, cool. I guess let's transition a little bit to J&A, right? You mentioned that's going to be the main focus, and that's still kind of your main grind is going to be J&A. So let's talk about that, man. What is the story behind J&A? I guess tell the people who aren't as familiar with your guys' content what J&A stands for, and then the story behind it, and then we'll get into some more stuff from there. But let's start there.
Just some good questions because there's stories to them. Yeah, so the story behind J&A is it's a cool story, I guess. So Ashton and I, when we were freshmen in college or in high school, we were on social media, and I was like a pro Fortnite player, just playing video games every day. And we started listening to these videos. They're like, "Get rich young. If you don't have a Lamborghini when you're 22, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
And so we kind of like got tricked into like, okay, we need to start working hard, going to the gym 5 a.m. and get rich.
Yeah.
So after like a year, we're like, okay, we don't have a Lamborghini yet, and that's not the goal anymore. The goal is to do something meaningful, not just get
Right.
money, not just get a
Right.
Lamborghini, because these people, first of all, selling courses online are making money off you buying their course. That's it.
Right.
So they're making money off selling you a dream, and it's
You're
fake.
paying for the Lamborghini.
Exactly. And so we shifted our mindset to their principles are right of working hard, but the goal of getting a Lamborghini is wrong. You got to make
Yeah.
something meaningful. And so we still kept working hard at stuff. And then junior year of high school, Ashton started doing NFTs. Do you know NFTs?
Yeah, I know what an NFT is.
And he came to me one day. He's like, "You got to do this." I was like, "No, I'm not doing that." And he started over time. He made money, and he showed me that if you just work at something with no guaranteed outcome, you can win. You can become successful. You just have to try. I saw him try as hard as he could, and he met
Right.
people in the industry, and he started making money. So I was like, "Okay, this is inspiring." And if you just work hard, you can do it. So I got into NFTs with him. Eventually, we stopped doing NFTs, and we're like, "What's next?" what's
Yeah.
next? And then this is like July 2022, before we started J&A, we're like, let's start a golf clothing company.
Okay.
So we started hats. We started selling hats right away called
Yeah.
Lagging Links. If you go
I
to
remember
Lagging
seeing
Links on
that.
Instagram,
Yes. Yeah.
it's right there. And we didn't sell many. We sold a few. And we're like, all right, we need a market. How are we going to market these hats? J&A, John and Ashton Golf.
Yeah.
And then that's where it started. We started making cringy videos. And then they got some views, and we made them even more cringy, and they got more views. And then we're like, all right, let's stop selling hats. Let's just go all in on content. And then the
Yeah.
goal ultimately was to become golf YouTubers, because we were only doing short form at the start. And you get views on short form, but the community's in YouTube. And we're like, all right, we're going to try our hardest to learn everything we can to get good at YouTube, editing, camera work, and just make it on YouTube. And a lot of my motivation was like, I saw Ashton do it with NFTs, and
Yeah.
I know that if I'm 80 and I look back when I'm 20, would I regret not taking this chance? Because in high school, I had to not go to football games sometimes. I had to skip out on stuff because we were filming or grinding, and we had to make it happen. And I was like, all right, if I'm 80, I'd regret this. So we got to keep going. And so that's the story. It's just like we believed we could do it, started, kept going, persistence, and now we're here.
Bro, that is one. It's hilarious that you that Ashton grinded on NFTs when he was like 16 or 17, but also awesome to hear that you guys. I mean, dude, like I said, like I can't hit on this enough, and I think we're gonna talk about it in a later question. But like the mindset you guys have, like I said, when I was in high school, I was thinking about what I want to do after school, not about when I'm 80. Like I said, I love that mindset though. It's similar to the mindset I have now of just like, dude, I'm just taking a chance. Like ever since I started doing the Scratch Golf Show, like I just told you, I had no presence on the internet outside of a small golf Instagram, no YouTube, hadn't really outside of just watching YouTube. I had never made a video, and my videos still aren't great. But here we are 5 months later, and I'm obsessed with it. Like I cannot turn this off. I'm obsessed with getting better. I'm obsessed with growing my brand, and I love it, dude. I love it, and so like you said, when I'm 80, am I going to regret not taking this? I like that. So I think that's some words to live by. But
Yeah.
let's talk about how cool it's been. Like, obviously the story behind J&A, but you guys have had a ton of success, right? I mean, you look at the chart or the stock chart, it's kind of like the Bitcoin from 2020. It's just going straight up.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have been on a rocket ship. Really, the last this year specifically, I know you guys have kind of doubled your sub count from 50 to 100 over the last few months, but what's it been like doing that with not just Ashton, but Owen, also your best friends that you grew up with? Like, how cool has that been?
It's awesome because we get along great and we argue a lot, but we know how to get over it. We know how to not hold a grudge against each other and
Yeah.
work well together. And we're strict and we plan stuff to like try to do our best, and we're serious at times, but then we also can be goofy at times, or we'll intertwine them. So we have a
Yeah.
relationship that's like we want to win and be like just build something meaningful, but also
Yeah.
like have a good time while doing it.
Yeah.
And Ashton's my next door neighbor. Owen, Ashton lives right there. That's how I met him. I was riding my electric scooter through the neighborhood one day, and he just moved in, and he was on his electric dirt bike, and I was like, "What's up, man?"
That's
And that's
awesome.
how we met. Sixth grade.
That's awesome.
And Owen,
Go ahead.
I used to do gymnastics with his brother, and we've always been friends too. We were friends. I
Yeah.
moved to their school in 8th grade, and then we all just became friends, and then started this senior year. So
Hell yeah, dude. How, I mean, obviously there are struggles and growing pains. Like this is not easy. Like growing on YouTube, building a brand, like it is like a lot of people do it and quit because they don't get any views. So like,
yeah,
how hard was it going through and growing, J&A the last 2 years, and what growing pains did you guys experience?
you got some good questions.
Sorry, bro. Hard
Because
hitting journalism here.
yeah, these all tap into like literally the journey of
That's the
how
point.
we got here. Yeah. Yeah, there were growing pains a lot, and the worst ones were back in like January of this year, which is crazy to think because we were like down bad, like down bad, like oh my gosh, this might not work out. And
Yeah.
Owen and Ashton to me, I don't want to. I'm not like trying to throw shade here. They came to me one time. They're like, if by the end of summer we're not getting views, we might have to quit or go back to college. Like, guys, what are we saying here? Like, the
Right.
morale was low. Even though the
I
whole
get it,
time from the
dude.
start we're like, we're never gonna quit. We're never gonna quit. We will win. You just got to stay persistent. Number one key
Yeah.
to winning. And but I mean, in the times of struggle, you doubt anyway. Even though you know you're gonna stay to it, you doubt in a way.
Yeah.
But you also are convinced you're gonna succeed. But January, we were posting videos that were getting lower and lower views,
Yeah.
lower every single time. And the summer before, we had posted and got a video at 60,000 and 50,000 views, and we're like, we are established golf YouTubers now. We made it. So when you get that in your head that you made
Yeah.
it, and then you see 4 months later, your views only go down, and now you went from 60 to an average of 3K. And then in January, we had a video hit 2.5K, and we're only putting more time in. We're only trying harder. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, are we not entertaining? Are our videos trash? Are we gonna ever be successful in here?
Yeah.
And then you just spend 40 hours on a video for it to get 2.5K views. You make no money. I mean, we're not even in it for the money at the time. We didn't pay
Right.
ourselves till like a month ago, over 2 years.
That's
And
wild, dude.
because you can't when you're starting you got to
Right.
reinvest
Yeah.
everything. You got to reinvest everything. And so in January, making no money, 2.5K, all our time's going into this. We could work a job. We could do this. We could hang out with friends. And we're just grinding on something that may not work out. And it's like the
Yeah.
worst feeling ever, but also the best feeling when months later you're like, okay, I'm glad I kept going.
Yeah. No, dude, I get it, man. There have been days like where I've wanted to stop doing this. Like it's hard. Like one of my best podcast guests, biggest podcast guest, he's big in the golf world, Ryan French. No shot to Ryan. Ryan's awesome, great guest. I don't know, you're not a huge sports guy, but he got like 180,000
No.
followers and he got like 3 listens. I think 2 of them were me. And that one hurt. Like that was like one where I was like, all right, this one's about to blow up, and then didn't do well. And it was no fault to Ryan. It was no fault to me. It just didn't do well. Like I'm still learning. And like after that, I was like, damn, dude, like I just recorded an hour, edited, like did all this stuff for it to get one person outside of myself. And it was probably my dad, if I'm being honest, who listened to
Yeah.
it. And so I
No,
get it,
I
man.
relate to that. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know it too. It's at the beginning you're making videos for some videos are
Nope.
for no one. Yeah.
Yeah. It's wild, dude. Some of my better video, like some of my most viewed videos are like my first 6 videos, which is hilarious to see. But some of my worst content. But I digress. I got lucky. I mean, I got like 500 views, nothing crazy. But you know, like if you look at the YouTube statistics and analytics, like I'm doing pretty well, man. Like 5 months ago, you know, I had no presence, and I've grown this to at least, you know, like I said, I'm talking to a good person. Anyway, I digress. This isn't about me. This is more about you. Let's
No, I
talk
like to hear
about.
both. I don't want to be the only one talking here. I know you're interviewing me, but it's fun to go both ways because I'm
No,
interested in your story as well.
yeah, dude. I mean, it's cool, man. Like I said, you guys inspire me. Like one of my goals was to, you know, interview all of Michigan's top golf content creators. Like when I started doing this, here we are. I've got one of the 3
Let's
down.
go.
A third of the group. We'll get the other 2 on at some point. And you know, Ashton Gollin follows me. We'll hopefully get him on soon. So like stuff like that, like is super cool. Like it's just like I told Sean this when I had him on. Like it's just like a checkbox, right? It's just like a goal. Okay, I had one good member on. I'm not stopping here. I'm going to get every good member on, right? And just kind of
Yeah.
checking off those boxes. And now here we are, 2 for 2, and hopefully Mo coming on at some point. And so 3 for 3, and then we'll get the rest of the boys. But let's talk about a different kind of grind. You have your own channel. Obviously, I know you've done other stuff with it, but what is the other channel? Is it just John McCarthy that people should subscribe to? What your solo channel?
Johnny McCarthy, baby.
Johnny McCarthy. We'll link it in the description. Make sure you subscribe to John's solo channel. But you just did a really cool series called, I don't know if it's Getting to Scratch or, you know, on Journey Road to Scratch. Road to Scratch. My apologies. I should be more versed in my guest topics there. But people don't know, you started golf like 3 years ago, I think, or 4 years ago, and you're now like a one-ish handicapper. I don't know if maybe you got to scratch. I know you had some issues with the last video, but dude, talk me through that grind and like going from never playing golf to now being a 1 and how hard that.
Yeah, never playing golf. I started, so I technically summer 2020, which is 4 years ago now. I went to the range with my dad a few times, and it was fun. But then I tried to get better, and I sucked unbelievably bad. So I was like, I'm done. So I'd go play with Owen and Ashton a little, and they were way better. And I was like, how do you guys like golf? This sucks. So I quit for 6 months. I was done.
Yeah.
So then I picked it back up in like February of 2021. So like
Okay.
basically 4 years ago. And I was like, I'm gonna give it one more shot, and that's what I did. Gave it one more shot, and I started to get a little better because I was thinking less, and then I started grinding, and then I would just go to the range every day, prop my phone up, and be like, okay, I need to fix this with my swing, and also having Ashton, who was a scratch golfer at the time or under
Right.
scratch, he would help me too. So just viewing my swing and getting tips from Ashton, I just formed a swing that I thought was right, and just kept playing. If you play a lot, you get better. So that was the process for me.
Yeah.
I'm still
Did
trying
you
to get better.
did you play a lot? I know you mentioned you did gymnastics. Have you done a lot of other sports as a kid? I know you mentioned you played soccer too, but like and like hockey, tennis, anything like that?
I did like basketball, baseball, and other stuff growing up, but I not into high school.
The only reason I ask is because I played hockey. I'm a huge hand-eye. Like I have really good hand-eye coordination. And sports-wise, hockey, baseball, tennis, ping pong, whatever. And so I've heard from a lot of people who are athletes or athletic somewhat, golf kind of came easier to them than others. So I'm curious,
Yeah.
did you find that it came easier to you? Like you mentioned, the better, like once you got down to like a 10, did you find it pretty easy to get down to like a 1-2 handicap?
Oh, not not really.
No.
My hand eye was terrible at the start, and I got
Yeah.
it better and better. It was very gradual. I feel like with everything people do, like just expect it to be gradual
Yeah.
because it was for me. I just saw my scores gradually go down,
Yeah.
and then yeah, I think
So,
I did have a bigger jump recently though, for sure.
so did you get to a scratch? What's the handicap currently sitting at?
Show you
You got the gin?
the gin, dude. It's I filmed my last episode, Road to Scratch. I edited it
Yeah.
for like 8 hours, filmed for 8 hours, and maybe 20 hours total, and I deleted it off my computer.
I know, bro. I saw your
How do
story.
you
I was
do
like,
that? I thought they were
no.
YouTube, and then I deleted it. It was uploading, and I cleared to get more space to download more
Yeah.
editing footage, and
Yeah.
I just deleted the whole thing and cleared my
Rip,
scratch.
bro.
It was from
Rip.
the Texas trip with Good Good, and my last finale episode. So fire. And the USGA guys were there too. The Gin app
Yeah.
guys, like the guys that run the app, I was asking them questions. But I'm still 1.8.
1.8. All right. Well, we
Yeah, I know.
tried. Hey, it's respectable. It's respectable.
Yeah,
Getting to 1 and 2 is hard.
yeah,
Um,
it's hard to go down from here.
I feel that, dude. Trust me. Speaking of handicaps, I'm a +1, and I just did a
Plus
first playing
one.
video. Yeah, I'm a +1. I've done it with all the caddies. I did it with Sean. I plan on doing it with every YouTuber I have on. But with you being local, this is going to be easier. But I do playing content ish now, so I'm going to throw out the challenge. Whether it's me versus you and Ash versus me and my partner Joe, who I'm bringing on full time as of today. Actually, we're going to meet up tonight. But we'll come
Nice.
out to Apple 2v2 scramble. We'll play you guys for whatever dollar amount. I know you guys are broke college kids. We don't want to take you out. But or I'll do you a 1v1 match regardless. But I'm tossing out the challenge. I'll give you whatever strokes you want because I know we're gin people here. But let's make it happen, man. Let's get it done.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Wait, what's your partner's handicap?
like a +1. We're both. He played
Okay.
at Wayne State. He's like a plus. He might be a +2. He's solid. He's way better than me. He's a better putter
Brought
than
a stick on the team, eh?
me. Yeah, ringer for sure. If you haven't checked out the playing content, check out the back nine of my match with those guys. You'll see how good my partner is. Um, let's talk about YouTube golf, man. You guys have been doing it for a while, 2 years. Obviously, I'm just getting started. What are your thoughts on the future of YouTube golf and what it looks like?
I would say the future of YouTube golf is bright, and I think it's only going to be growing and getting bigger, and YouTube golfers are going to be a huge part of golf in the future because you look at the tournaments like Midwest Open, Desert Open, the Creator Classic on the PGA Tour. They're pulling so many eyeballs. The influence golf creators have influenced so many people, and
Yeah,
you only see more and more people getting involved. And I think the PGA is going to realize that, Liv's going to realize that, Good's going to only host more tournaments, and I think it's going to shift to a mix of pro and YouTube golf, like just because of the pull and reach and the personality in YouTube golf compared to the PGA Tour. So I was just at the Midwest Open like thinking to myself, holy cow, we're in the middle of nowhere and 3,000 people showed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah. And
And
for reference,
NBC.
like French Lick is literally in the middle of, like, I've played both those courses. French Lick is in the literal middle of nowhere. Like, there's nothing around that place outside of those
I know.
golf courses and that casino. So
Yeah.
I'm familiar. That was wild. I wish I would have went. I was just getting back from my honeymoon, but I wanted anyway. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Honeymoon this year. Congrats.
Yeah.
I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
know it was
Yeah.
this year you got married. That was
I
a
got
few months
married
ago.
few months ago, bro. Memorial Day weekend 2024. My wife, outside of my parents, my wife's my biggest supporter. She actually, I had been thinking about doing this for a while. I've been talking about it. Like, hey, I want to do my own YouTube. Hey, I want to start my own talk show for golf, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, she literally told me word for word, just shut the fuck up and do it already. That was the week of the Masters this year. So, yeah, about
Nice.
six weeks before our wedding. Anyway, but yeah, go ahead. I didn't want to interrupt you from the YouTube golf question.
No, that's yeah, kind of wrapping it up there. I mean, from what I said, it just seems like it's only growing. It's only going to
Yeah.
get bigger, and the community in YouTube golf is so strong compared to other niches, compared to the community that's around the PGA Tour. So, I think it's only going to get bigger and bigger, and I think it's a huge part of the future of golf
Yeah, I
for
agree,
sure.
man. And a lot of the YouTubers are so cool. Like every YouTuber I've had on, or every YouTuber creator I've experienced, come across, and it's been, a few now. Everyone's just been super nice because like all the questions I get, like, how do you keep getting these guys on your podcast? I mean, you just ask and just be nice, and most people are generally pretty cool about it. I mean, it takes some persistence. Like I just got Busta or Mason to commit, and I had been reaching out to him since like emailing him, DMing, like
Yeah.
commenting for months. It's sorry to interrupt the interview with John today, but wanted to take a minute to shout out our sponsors here at the Scratch Golf Show. Our videos here are always sponsored by my friends at Core Chiropractic and Performance Center, a local family-owned business here in the Michigan area. If you're local, please check them out. Doctors Billy and Maddie do a number of different services from chiropractic, injury rehabilitation, and sports performance. My wife and I see them all the time. We cannot endorse their services enough. I just saw Dr. Billy the other week to help my back to get me through the fall golf. Had me feeling like $1,000,000. Please go see them, corecpc.com. It'll be in the description to schedule your free consultation. And please mention the Scratch Golf Show upon arrival to receive a discount on your first appointment. Let's get back to the interview with John. Please subscribe below. Thanks, guys. Just once you get a hold of people and get their attention, it's really easy. But yeah, dude, I agree. I think the future's bright. I mean, there are so many good creators up and coming. I think the PGA Tour is slowly but surely kind of catching up to the times that YouTube is the future. I mean, you look at Bryson on Live. I mean, Bryson is outside of you guys and being good or Garrett or Grant. Like Bryson is the biggest content creator in golf, and he's the number whatever ranked player in the world, current U.S. Open champion. Like it's cool to see. And I think we had Sean on. We talked about. I think some of the pros and the PGA Tour side and Live are starting to do YouTube. You've seen Phil do it, Sergio, a lot of these guys, and I agree, man. I think the future's bright. It's why I'm doing this. I'm happy I'm doing it now, and hopefully I can, gather some of the eyeballs on the YouTube world here on the Scratch Golf Show. But do you watch a ton
Yeah.
of golf? Like I know you mentioned the PGA Tour. Are you pretty like do you watch a ton of PGA Tour golf, or are you just kind of J&A and free time? You're just golf free.
I don't watch a lot of YouTube golf or the PGA just because, yeah, a lot of the time we are editing or filming. And when I'm
Yeah,
not, I like to hang out with my girlfriend or do other things. I,
yeah,
I never really did watch YouTube golf either. Ashton and Owen did. And
yeah,
that's why I brought kind of a different perspective to the table because when we first started filming, Ashton would look at the camera and be like, oh, 115 out, I'm going pitching wedge. I'm like, Ash, why do you only talk to the camera? And he's like, that's just what they do. I'm like, how about instead of talking to the camera, we'll talk to each other, and then it just films us talking to each other, and
yeah,
we'll talk to the camera for context a little bit, and that's what we started doing, and that's what I think is a little different about our content, and when it's just me and Ash, when it's not like any
yeah,
collabs or anything, is we don't try to talk to the camera. That's like good style. So we try to be a little
yeah,
different
for
there.
sure. I love that, dude.
But back to your question of YouTube golf, I don't mind watching it. I think it's a little slow at times,
Yeah.
but that's why we try to make it kind of quicker. But I just like to do other things, or we're just
No,
grinding editing a lot.
I feel it, dude. It's funny because like I actually found an old clip of you guys. It was like I was watching an old video the other night, kind of when we were talking, getting ready for this interview. It was a clip
You'd be
of
fine.
you talking about a PGA Tour player with the same last name, McCarthy, and you're like, it was the week
Oh yeah.
before the Masters, and I don't know if you remember this clip. I have it on my phone, but you're like, I'm picking McCarthy at the Masters, and you're like, he just lost in the playoff the week before, and Ash is like, who's McCarthy? Do you know who Denny McCarthy is? The PGA Tour
Me?
player?
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Dude, that's funny.
No.
It's funny you mentioned that because I just had his caddy on like 3 weeks
Oh
ago.
really?
Denny is hopefully going to come on here in the next few weeks, and he does follow me. He listened to us. He's a fan of the show. So I've got two cool McCarthys who follow me on Instagram,
Let's go.
ironically enough. But yeah, dude, that I get that, and like I said, I think the future of YouTube golf is bright. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about something that earlier this year, you kind of had a difficult moment, man. You lost your dad, who I know is a big inspiration. My dad is the reason I got into golf, the reason I do this. He's my biggest supporter, my role model, my hero in life. Outside of my wife and mom, he watches all my videos. So I guess talk me through your relationship with your dad, how important that was behind, I guess his support behind you doing what you're doing, and just kind of how you got through that, at such a young age, because obviously that's never easy to go through, losing a parent.
Yeah, it's a good question. He was a huge supporter. I always told him, like I said, we started this freshman year, or not
Yeah,
this, but like into that stuff freshman year,
yeah,
working hard, whatever. And I always told him, like, Dad, I'm gonna do something big. And he always was like, yeah, you go do it. And I'd be like, this
that's
is what I'm
awesome,
gonna
dude.
do. And then it'd fail. And he'd be like, I'm like, I'm still gonna do it. And he's like, yep, keep going. And when we started JNA, he would watch every single video. He would text me and Ashton and be like, love this video. Give us a critique. You need to do this. Or, oh my gosh, it's just your best video yet. This is the best video. Every video
Yeah,
this year, it started to come out like, this is best. And it was motivating because we were like, all right, we're getting better and better. And I'd come home, we'd talk about it. So he was a big golfer too.
yeah,
And to see like when brands would send us stuff, he would get jealous. And it was fun. It was so fun to have him there, like talking about it with him and him supporting in general. He was always like, yeah, just do it, keep going. So he was the number one supporter, and it was great to have him. Number one fan, and I'm just glad he could see me playing the Midwest Open. That's what made me the most happy, that he got to see that, and he saw everything up to that, and that's basically like he saw the gist of it, and I'm happy he got to see that. Um, and the way I got through it is I'm a Christian, so
yeah,
I firmly believe that God has a plan for everyone, and plans are, it's hard to realize sometimes because they're hard to go through. And I just want to be faithful to God's plan, and trust that it's the right plan. So if his time has if his time was to go in July, then it's time to go in July, and I accept that. That's how I get through it.
powerful words, man. Powerful words. I wish I could have showed you. I got goosebumps. I think I still have them. I don't know if you can see in the camera. When you're talking about
Can't.
that, it's moving, man. I think a lot of people take a lot of stuff for granted. I know, like I said, my dad got me into golf when I was 6. I mean, golf is my outlet. It's my favorite thing to do in the world. It's why I love doing this. And yeah, dude, I get it. And props to you. And like you said, it's really cool that your dad got to experience and see what you're doing, and all the success you guys had. And I'm sure, he's watching over you the last couple of months and seeing you guys go through the good stuff. And like you said, there's a plan there, and whatever happens, happens. And it's a good mindset to have. And like I said, dude, I can't harp on this enough. You at such a young age have such a great mindset, and you're probably more mature than me, and I'm 10 years older than you. So I cannot stress that enough.
No.
How awesome it is to see that I think you're more of a young man than a kid. I would say is a fair
Thank you.
assessment. So let's talk a little bit about that specifically. How have you managed all the success you've had, whether it's J&A, yourself, just to get a brand, like my goal is to get one brand contract. I don't care if they pay me $1.
Hey,
One contract where I can say I
okay.
got, like, how have you managed all this success at such a young age? And kind of just like, I mean, you know, someone like, I think his name's Jackson Doherty, the dude who's like a content creator. Like, I've seen videos like that dude's a douche, and he's like 18.
Jack
Like, and you guys
Doherty.
are 20. Yeah, and you guys are
Yeah.
20, just the nicest dudes ever, salt of the earth. Like, dude, how do you do it?
I mean, we just live in a small town and we've always had the same beliefs that, I mean, I don't put J&A above me. I put living a life above, like my life and becoming a better person and serving God is like what what the purpose is, right? And so
Yeah,
J&A always comes second to that. And if it's not your top thing, it's not on a pedestal, it's not going to change who you are. So I mean,
yeah.
for me, it's yeah, I mean, I don't really feel fame, to be honest. I don't feel
That's
like
fair.
success. I feel like that I would just keep doing what we've always been doing, which is editing and filming every day. So it doesn't feel like much has changed besides the numbers
Yeah,
going up. And I'm not always on. I try to delete Instagram as much as I can because I don't believe in going on Instagram and scrolling and getting lost. Like,
bro. Feel that.
yeah, and so I mean, managing it at a young age, I think it's just how do I
I,
manage it at a young age?
I mean, you seem to do all the right stuff, dude. Like, delete, like, not being on social media, I think is something that's super important. Like, you get a lot of that negativity, right? A lot of the bullshit, right? A lot of the trolls, a lot of the people, you know, fuck you, you're an asshole, you suck at golf. I mean, and there's a really fine line. Like, I'm someone who is super sarcastic, and like, I'm, you know, I like to talk shit, which I know you're not a shit talker. We can maybe talk
Oh,
about
I'm
that
terrible
offline.
at that.
I do like to talk a lot of shit, and I can teach you maybe here at, if we ever
That'd be
link
good.
up in person. Um, but anyway, like, there's a really fine line, and like, I think that doing that type of stuff is just probably 1A. Like you said, like you mentioned, like, you know, no matter how big J&A gets, you and probably your girlfriend, whatever relationship with your parent, your friends, regardless, I digress, is more important than all of that. And so I think just doing that stuff is probably a good way of managing it. Like, obviously you spend a lot of time on the computer, right? A lot of time editing, a lot of time uploading, a lot of time on camera and YouTube. It can get very easy. And from somebody who has done it at such a smaller scale, and I can admit it can get very easy to get, you know, plugged into your phone and always being on Instagram, always being on YouTube, always being on Twitter, whatever. I
Yeah.
mean, there's a billion social media apps. And from someone who has really bad ADHD, and my wife can attest to that, I can get, you know, locked in. So I think you doing that type of stuff and just the mindset you have of, you know, being a good person, right? And you know, like you said, you have God's plan. That I think you're just doing all the right stuff right there, and just not being an asshole, right? I think is super important. So I think you're
Just
doing a really
not
good
being.
job.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
um, so let's talk a little bit about the future of J&A. And I know you mentioned that's obviously, you know, you guys being good, but the number one priority is still J&A, and kind of grinding on that. So what does the future look like for J&A or Good? Can you tease some content you guys got coming up? I know you mentioned you got the Good week in Branson, but any good J&A content you guys want to tease? We're dropping this a week from today, so I know you guys do Sundays, but anything you can tease for the people here at the Scratch Golf Show?
We have a new series we just brainstormed. We go to the coffee shop a lot and we'll just like brainstorm.
Yeah,
Um, and we think it could be solid. I don't want to say it here yet. I'll say some
no
other
worries,
stuff we're doing, but
no worries. Love that.
we're gonna try it out. And over the winter, it'll probably be good too because it's snowing here.
Right.
It's something we can either travel to do or maybe do here. Um, we want to just make videos that are other than the series I'm thinking of. We want to make videos that are maybe more vlogs in them, more showing a story of like in a week. So this comes out on Monday. The Sunday after, we have a video coming out where we threw a dart at a. We've done this before, but we threw a
I
dart
love
at a
that
map,
one. That's
and
awesome.
yeah, we went where we drove to where it landed, and then we explored the city, went and played golf, and tried to break the course record. And the
Yeah.
city that this landed in, I'm not going to spoil it, but it was a cool city. Like it landed right in the heart of a big city. I'll say that, like right in the heart, and
If
it's fun. We want to go ahead, say what?
I was say, if it's the city I'm thinking of, because I do pay pretty close attention on Instagram, it's a city I just fancied
Oh, yeah,
myself in. If it's the
top
course,
of it.
if it's the, well, I'll ask you offline. But it's that's awesome, man. It's a course
What's
that I
the
really
name of the
wanted to
course
play.
start with? Or
Is
what's
it?
the letter?
Uh, well, it's two words. The main one starts with an M.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a very
Yeah.
hard golf course, from what I've heard.
Yeah. It's hard.
Okay.
It's very hard.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll talk about it offline. But awesome, man. I love what you guys. I think that was another old video I watched of you guys throwing the dart at the map of Michigan. That's such a cool idea, dude. Like, I love how you guys just think of that. And you guys drove. And I remember you told the if it was the, I don't know if you guys have done one or two videos, whatever it is, but the one you talking to the lady, you're like, I think it was you. You're like, yeah, we threw a dart at a map, and that's how we're playing here. What's the course record? And she's like, no, really, how'd you end up here? I'm like, no, I'm serious. We literally threw a dart at a
Yeah.
map.
She's like, what?
Oh yeah, dude. That's awesome,
Yeah.
man.
And then we
Cool.
have
Well,
another Michigan series. Our first like 5 video Michigan series we want to film mid-October. So
sweet.
we're gonna
Oh yeah.
showcase some of the best courses in Michigan, like Bay Harbor. We're going to some other ones.
Nice. Hell yeah, dude. That was something that I wanted to do. Like, obviously, you guys are much more of a larger scale operation than I know. Action Gallen's kind of doing his thing of kind of chasing summer. There's so much good
Yeah.
golf here in Michigan that I think hasn't been showcased on the YouTube yet. I know you guys did the
Yes.
Arcadia video. Arcadia is one of, if not my favorite course to play in the state. Both of them, Bluffs and
So
South.
nice.
But yeah, dude, awesome. So congrats on that. I'll be, obviously I watch all your guys' videos. I'll make sure I check it out. Love to see you guys showcasing some Michigan golf. Well,
Thank you.
last question before we get into the rapid fire segment. Speaking of Michigan golf, what are your thoughts on Michigan as a golf state as a whole? Kind of a good segue into that question.
Oh, I think it's elite.
Yeah,
I went
right?
to Texas. It does not compare. Arizona, if you go to a super nice scenic course, yeah, that's a lot different and it's nice.
Yeah.
Florida doesn't compare. California, there's awesome courses, but Michigan, the grass is so good. Whatever grass
Yeah.
we have here, the trees,
Man.
the views, it's just pure. Like my home course 5 minutes away, I have not played a course out of state more pure than this one.
Yeah.
Just everything here is solid. Like they're great courses. You go up north, the trees in the fall, which that's what we want to showcase in our fall series here in Michigan. The trees, I don't know. There's just something about it that screams top notch.
No, I agree, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I actually was gonna shoot a video up north at a course called Champion Hill in mid-October, like trying to showcase. It's a course I played for my wedding. It's a hidden gem. Super cool course.
Champion
Kind of
Hill.
doing. I don't want us to steal your guys' content of like a fall series, but that was my idea. Like shooting a playing video out there. Like I've got a good relationship with the course. Yeah, it's
Awesome.
near Traverse City. So if you haven't played Champion Hill, check it out. It's a really cool course. But no, dude, I agree. I think Michigan is elite. Michigan is an elite golf state, dude. Like there's so much good golf here. I think even just going up to the UP, right? I mean, you got Gray Walls, you got all these awesome courses that aren't even in the lower half. And speaking of Apple, yeah, dude, Apple Mountain does look pure. I do want to get up there and play it. It's about an hour and a half from my house. I'm heading up that way in a couple weeks. I might try and sneak out there. Dude, it does look like seeing some of your drone shots. Like it does look pure as fuck. And I want to get out there and like I'm all about playing new courses, dude. So I want to get out there and play.
It's so solid. Their memberships per year are cheap compared to anywhere around the country, and it's probably one of the best courses you can play on. And no one's out there too, so you can just fly. It's so.
It's public, right, or is it private? Is it semi-private?
It's public.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, dude, I definitely want to get out there and play before the end of the year. I want to hit there, the Dream and the Nightmare, and then, like I said, I might hit up Champion Hill before the end of the year, maybe Arcadia. So cool stuff. Good to hear you guys got some fall content coming, and I agree, dude. Michigan is an elite golf state. We should shed some more light on it, and by we, I mean you, because you guys have much more eyes than I. But let's get into the rapid fires, then we'll let you go, man. I know you've already been far too gracious with your time. Thank you so much for hopping on. But let's start with this one. Favorite Michigan golf course that you've played?
American Dunes.
Hell yeah, dude! I do want to get out there. No, I haven't. I played Thornapple, so I was out on the west side of the state on Saturday.
Okay.
I head out to Grand Rapids and played Thornapple Point, similar to a course that you may have been teasing earlier. But no, I want to play American Dunes. It looks fucking awesome. I really want to get out there.
It's a sweet course. Jack Nicklaus. Anyone at home, if you come to Michigan, American Dunes. Bobby actually just skydived in. That's the course he skydived into.
I saw that. I saw he was in. I replied to him. I was like, "Yo, come on, Michigan's newest golf podcast. We want, constant grind, bro."
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked. You guys did an awesome video. I know Ashton also did a great video out there. So check that out if you haven't. American Dunes, great golf course. This is going to be an interesting one. I'm curious because you mentioned you're not huge into YouTube, but who's your favorite creator outside of Jay? It doesn't have to be golf. It could be anything. Sean said Slicky Stevie TV, who I know is boys with Owen.
Oh yeah,
Fishing guy.
60.
So
Yeah. I one of the nicest guys I've met, in genuine is Blake Mullen from Good Good. I
dialed.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, Dialed Golf, but that's not my favorite creator. But I just shout out to Dialed.
Come on, Blake. I've been trying to get you on. Open
I
invite.
could get him on for you. I don't know. I don't have a favorite one.
No
Sorry.
worries. Ashton de Blasi. There you go. Ashton de Blasi.
Ashton
Make
DeBlasi.
it nice and easy
Check
for you.
out his vlogs.
Coolest golf moment on camera.
Probably the Midwest Open. Teeing off on that first tee was so fun with the people right along the side of you. Heart beating.
Were you nervous? You had to be
So,
nervous, bro.
I was nervous, but I kept telling myself, like, turn the nerves into excitement. And I was. My heart was not like. I remember just stepping up that tee, looking down the fairway, like, I'm going to bomb this. And just excited to hit it good, and I did. And I never turn nerves into excitement. Ashton Gallon actually told me that. We filmed with him a week before, and he's like, dude, from the Desert Open, dude, you got to turn your nerves into excitement. And I took that with me, and it worked. So that's what I'm going to do on every tournament now.
I think you said it in a video that I watched recently. You were more nervous about the Dodd King match than you were on the first tee of the good. But is that true? You were more nervous about shaving your head than the actual first tee of the good.
100%.
That's wild, dude.
I was in that match with the Dodd King. Like, I don't know. I was shaking over some shots. I don't know. It's maybe because we weren't expected to win the Midwest Open, and then I really wanted to not lose my hair.
I feel that. DOD King is awesome, dude. We could cut a whole nother pod on him in that video. What course did you guys play? I meant to ask you, what course was that at?
That was at I was in Detroit at big wedding venue course. Something Meadows. Shepherd's Hollow. Yeah.
Shepherd's Hollow. Damn, I did not recognize Shepherd's Hollow. That's wild. I'm not a huge fan of that course. Anyway, FYI. A big wedding venue though. I know they have a sick venue. Coolest off-camera golf moment. Do you have one?
Coolest off-camera moment.
Because I know most of your golf is played on camera.
Most of it is, yeah. I'd say like a month ago, I was hitting a 50-yard sand shot out of a waste bunker, and it landed like 10 feet left of the pin and zipped right and went in. It was like the coolest shot I ever hit.
Oh yeah, love that, dude. Love that. Okay, one mulligan on camera. Where would you use it and why? Could be any video, any tournament, whatever. You get one mulligan.
I would use it on hole 8 of our DOD King match because we were all square through 8 or going into 8, and I missed a 4-footer to stay square, and then we tied 9. So I was only down 1. And if I could redo this 4-footer, I'm really confident with these slight snapping putts, but I was shaking. You can see my hands.
Oh, I know, dude. Yeah, you're literally.
But I also just didn't commit. So if I did it again, I think I could make it. We would have gone square, and then a playoff, and then maybe I would have beat him.
Yeah, then you would have shaved. I wish you would have shaved his mullet, bro. That thing is.
I know, dude. He's a college athlete too, so to beat him, it would have been devastating.
Dude, Jimmy, bro. The name. The name Jimmy from that match, bro. How often did you hear Jimmy at the Midwest Open from that? Or was that before?
That was before the shave head one. I heard it a little at the Midwest Open, but not too much. People commented. It's funny. Whatever.
I'm pretty sure I'm guilty of calling you Jimmy a few times. So, hey, sorry about it. It is what it is.
All good.
Favorite video you've ever made and why?
Favorite video we ever made was probably the joining with Good one.
Yeah, most recently. Fair enough.
Looking back on it.
Yeah. Especially because you guys are sitting on it for months, not being able to talk about it. I'm sure it was tough.
And it's just fun to. Ashton edited that one completely. He did a great job the intro
It was
showing
awesome.
like our history of YouTube and just like
So cool, dude.
seeing like getting a hint of progress and then to where we sign with him at the end of the video. It's just a fun video for me to go back and watch too.
Yeah,
So I like that one.
fair enough. All right, I know you obviously are all Callaway now, but what's in the bag? I know you have the driver and the jailbird putter, but what irons are you using? What 3-wood? Give us a breakdown of the bag.
We got the jailbird putter, which has changed my putting. I'm
Yeah.
telling you,
Well, you're
I'm a
using that
terrible. I'm known.
lab
Yeah, I
before.
was using a lot, and I've been known as a terrible putter. And I thought I definitely got better with the lab. It's still
Yeah.
not that good. And then I got this jailbird dude, and it's killer. Like I'm
Nice.
putting so much better. So we got the
Yeah.
jailbird, and then we got the good driver. We got this AI Smoke 3-wood. We got a 4 hybrid in the same smoke series. And
Yeah.
then for the irons, we got the CB irons. They're kind of like Titleist T100s, which I
Yeah.
came from. So it's literally like no
Right
change
over
at
my
all.
shoulder right
Oh,
there.
you got
T100.
200s too?
200S. I got 200S, but same thing.
I love them.
They're the
But these
best.
Callaway CBs are like the same thing. So I like
Yeah.
them too. And then for wedges, we got the new Opus wedges. You know those?
Oh, yeah. Yep. I just saw Melosi's video, and obviously, all the other guys who are Callaway guys. They look sweet.
Yeah. So we got a
Oh,
50, 55 degree, and a 60. And the 60 has like a little weight in the bottom of it, so it's supposed to have a lower piercing shot.
nice.
And
Hell yeah.
that's the what's in the bag.
Oh yeah, bro. All right. Last one. I asked Sean this. I guess I asked Sean my random like funny good question was like my question in the show sheet. But I asked him if you could be stuck on one island and if you're stuck on an island with one good memory and you had to pick one, who would it be and why?
Yeah, I heard his response. He said Bubby.
Yeah.
And which that's true. Bubby's very primal, very let's do hard stuff. Literally, I met him. He's like, all I want to do is hard stuff.
I love Bubby,
And
dude. He's
that's why
so
he
cool.
posted that video with pull ups. He does
Yeah.
ice baths. So, I mean, I would have to say Bubby too. With everything I know, it's got to be Bubby. He would
All
be
right.
there. He wouldn't complain. He would probably be doing pull ups on a palm tree and like, come on, we got to go take an ice bath at 5 a.m. So I'd say Bubby because he'd make it work. He'd make it fun and he'd be there.
All right, man. Well, guys, that's Jay from J&A Golf here on the Scratch Golf Show. We're going to wrap it up here. Before we wrap up, John, thank you so much for coming on, man. Anything you want to plug, whatever, any messages? I don't have any advertising, no sponsors, so say whatever you want. If you want to plug goodgoodgolf.com and check out the new gym apparel, you can do that. I don't care.
Well, you
Whatever
just
you
did.
want, then we'll sign off, bro.
I would just say to anyone at home, I'm going to say one thing I learned over this journey and one thing I want to say to y'all at home. One thing I've learned is stay true to yourself. I haven't been all the time with content. Like I went on DOD King's video and I got called Jimmy because I was not being me. He plays
Yeah.
like kind of a character, so I was trying to play a character that I've never
Yeah.
tried. And that's not me. Be yourself. Learn to be authentic and be you. Don't conform to who you're around. And then two, the thing I want to just say, that's the thing I've learned, and the thing I want to say to y'all at home is if you have a dream or a goal, the number one trait of all people that became successful was persistence. They just kept going because you might suck now, but in 6 months you might learn something that completely changes it, and then you can take off. Or in 5 years, that might happen. Everyone's timeline's different. Don't be on a time crunch to win, because if you look at the stories of every creator you watch now, I guarantee you they started probably over 2 years ago. Unless it's like a rare scenario, but don't expect yourself to be that rare scenario, like a sketch. It
Right.
takes time. Don't get demotivated. Keep going. Persistence is the number one trait.
That's right, guys.
That's what I
Make
gotta
sure you
say.
appreciate you jumping on. Make sure you subscribe to the Scratch Golf Show, subscribe to J&A, subscribe to Johnny McCarthy. That's it, guys. We appreciate it.